welcome to my views on News Friday. Second video. Main news story is about talks between Ethiopian federal government and Tigray regional government. Talks have been delayed. Talks were slated for this weekend. On Saturday or Sunday, talks were due to be held, but talks have been postponed. What happened? What is the reason behind postponement of the talks? Has some new schedule been announced? Tigray had raised some questions about these talks. We'll have a detailed look at this news story. Secondly, viewers, recruitments are being seen across Amhara region by Ethiopian National Defense Force. We have some pictures for you from North Shua zone of Amhara region. Dozens of buses can be seen carrying new recruits of Ethiopian National Defense Force. And lastly, viewers, Somalia, where fighting is ongoing. To the north of Mogadishu, Somalia's capital, Al-Shabaab, we know that has been able in the past to hit Mogadishu, Somalia's capital. Why? Because it has its presence in areas close to Mogadishu in Shabelle, and now fighting is being reported in the areas which are strategic when it comes to carrying out attacks on Mogadishu. Firstly, viewers, Tigray regional government, Ethiopian federal government were due to participate in talks this weekend on Saturday or Sunday in South Africa. We know that African Union extended an invitation to Tigray regional government and Ethiopian federal government to participate in the talks. Ethiopian federal government accepted the invitation. Tigray regional government released a statement. It raised 4 questions about African Union's mediation offer, African Union's invitation to attend talks. The four questions were firstly, is cessation of hostilities a part of agenda of African Union? Are other international monitors, observers, guarantors being invited to the talks? Thirdly, what role will be of the international community in the talks? And fourthly, logistical and security arrangements for Tigray's delegation. Because in Tigray there is ongoing fighting, airstrikes, drone strikes being conducted. How will representative of Tigray be taken from Mekelle to South Africa? 4 questions were raised by Tigray government. African Union's Moussa Faki last night issued a statement welcoming both parties' announcement to join the talks, and he did not address Tigray's concerns. He only said that talks will be led by a panel of mediators. Olusegun Obasanjo, former president of Nigeria, former president of Kenya, Uhuru Kenyatta, and Fumzile Milambo, former deputy president of South Africa. He did not say a word about logistical security preparations. He did not say a word about international guarantors, international observers. And he did not say a word about cessation of hostilities too. He only talked about negotiated ceasefire. So now what we are hearing is that talks have been delayed. It is being reported by several international news outlets, and diplomats are being quoted on condition of anonymity, that some diplomats have confirmed that talks due to be held in South Africa have been delayed. Reason? Logistical preparations. It is being said that reason is logistical preparation, which is a bit strange for me. What sort of logistical preparations are needed to conduct talks in South Africa? Only problem is that Tigray leaders should be transported safely from Tigray to South Africa. Are there any other hurdles in terms of logistical preparations? I don't see any hurdles. It means there are some issues. And second important thing is that when a program is delayed, mostly new date is announced. So far, no new date has been announced. By the way, when African Union extended invitation to Tigray regional government, in that invitation, date was mentioned that on Sunday, 8th or 9th of October, talks will be held. But when Musa Faki last night welcomed Tigray and Ethiopian government's decisions to join talks, he did not mention the date. He said talks will be held soon. It means there are some issues. Tigray has been saying that the security of its panel of mediators must be ensured, and we are seeing threats. Daniel Kibre, Ethiopian PM's advisor, in a message yesterday threatened Tigray representatives that their lives could be in danger. They might not return from South Africa. So there were some serious issues raised by Tigray regional government. Now talks have been delayed. Since no new date has been announced, it means that there are some issues unresolved. Some questions raised by Tigray regional government are going unanswered. African Union's statement I analyzed in the previous video did not answer Tigray's questions. And I said in the last video that Tigray was in a difficult situation to attend the talks or to boycott the talks. Now talks have been delayed. It means that there are some unresolved issues. Either Ethiopian federal government, Eritrean government, they want to continue their offensive, their advance. They are advancing on some fronts and they want to gain as much military leverage as possible for the start of talks. Or Tigray is not happy with the arrangements in which only African Union's three mediators are overseeing the talks. So there are unresolved issues. Talks have been delayed. It has been confirmed now. Secondly, viewers, ENDF recruitments are gaining pace across Ethiopia. We have shared pictures from Dasi, from Gajam, Debre, Marcos. Now we have pictures for you from North Shua zone of the Amhara region, where new recruits today departed for their training institutes. They are joining the training and they departed from different areas and they were in buses. You can see the pictures on your screen. The pictures show a convoy of buses heading towards a training institute. So across Amhara region, thousands have been recruited in the past few days. The same is the case in Oromia. People say conscription is ongoing. I don't have any credible information about conscription. I think there is so much unemployment in Ethiopia that the people are ready to be part of ENDF. There is no need of conscriptions. Why? Because there is unemployment, there is poverty. So people are ready to be part of ENDF and they are joining Ethiopian National Defense Force. Thousands have been recruited in the past just 2 to 3 weeks, I think. Thirdly, viewers, Mogadishu, Somalia's capital, has been a target of several attacks carried out by Al-Shabaab fighters for years. Why? Because Al-Shabaab has its presence in Shabelle, in other areas close to Banadir, close to Mogadishu, and now fighting is ongoing to push Al-Shabaab away from Shabelle and to stop its advance from Shabelle into Mogadishu. Fighting is ongoing reportedly near Basra, firstly, near Muriyale, between Balad and Afgoe. All these areas are to the north of Mogadishu, and an attempt is being made by government forces to push Al-Shabaab fighters away from Mogadishu. We have seen several attacks on Mogadishu by Al-Shabaab fighters. Even they were in a position to attack Mogadishu's airport, heavily guarded airport, Mogadishu's presidential palace. parliament, all Mogadishu was they were in a position to hit any place in Mogadishu. Even some said that they were extorting money in Mogadishu. But now, since 3 weeks ago, a new operation against Al-Shabaab was launched by Somalia's federal and regional forces. So an attempt is being made to push Al-Shabaab away from Mogadishu to secure the capital. I think it should be one of the main targets of the government that at least capital should be secure. If a country's capital is not secure, if it is vulnerable to attacks from armed groups, terrorist groups, it means that government can be toppled, government can be removed, or it can be put under pressure anytime. So that is why fighting is ongoing, but so far no news of any major gains or losses. Update in coming videos about fighting to the north of Mogadishu, Somalia's capital. Thank you for watching.